Hello.
Hey Andrea, how are you?
Hello.
Ciao,
Very
¿cómo
good.
estáis?
How are you guys? Hello, Kevin. Hello, Nicolás. Good to
Hi.
see you again.
Yeah, very nice to see you. How you been?
Okay, good, good, good. We finished an engaging day here in Molteni, so good, good. I
What
guess you
time is
guys
it
are,
over there in Milan right
oh,
now?
it's six o'clock in the evening.
Okay, okay, okay.
Well, wait, we've been on for a little bit. I want to say thank you to Revista Access, which is hosting our live today. Uh, Thank you for you taking your time
Oh, thank
with
you
us,
to you.
and maybe introduce a little bit of to everybody who we are. I'm Kevin Schaller, CEO at Schaller Design Group.
My name is Nicolás Manrique. I'm project director in Nicolás Manrique Construcción. We constructed and developed the Octava residences here in Bogota, which will be entitled with the Dada Kitchen. So that's why we work together with Kevin, and we feel really proud to be working with you guys as well.
Good. And well, for me, I'm Andrea Molteni, part of the Molteni family who owns and directs Molteni and Dada as two companies. I mainly follow what is the product development phase. Then, of course, we are a family business, so it's very hard to define where you start your job description and where it ends, but mainly focused, yes, on product development here.
We have a set of questions that we want to go over. I think we've had enough people logged in. We can start.
Yeah.
The first question, Andrea, would be, as product developer for Molteni, what would you say are your biggest challenges?
We have a lot of challenges, let's say, so it's quite a task to narrow down to specific ones. Let's say on one level, for sure, is the inspiration side. As product development director here, the toughest part is to try to some extent interpret and try to predict where the future trends for products and product innovation and product trends will go in the next years, in the next future. What are the trends that are going to be more relevant? In this, it's a very big job to do a lot of research around all different activities and products that we develop. For Molteni, of course, we produce and manufacture all kinds of furniture goods, from sofas all the way to tables and wardrobes and everything. So we need to keep an eye on a very wide range of products. And for that as well, of course, the kitchen is a more technical element, is a more technical furniture piece, which has a lot of functionality. So we need to follow also the innovation on where the kitchen functional aspects are going to head. Different kitchen and cooking styles might go over the next future. So we do a lot of research internally here at Molteni and Dada. Part of the help also we get on making these big research is working with a very wide range of architects and designers who collaborate with us and give us inspirations and give us a lot of feedback from all around the globe on where the trend for products will go over the future. Of course, we aim as much as we can not really to follow where the trends will be in the future, but really to set what the trends will be for the next years. So this is probably the biggest challenge we face. On a more maybe practical level, to some extent, also we as Molteni and Dada, we are an industrial group. We manufacture industrially our furniture, but we're well known and well versed into customization and so the real big challenge is try to develop industrial product that can be customized by our clients, by the architects that use our products in their projects, and interior designers very freely. And so to balance these two elements, industrialization and customization, is also a key and quite difficult task that we need to address, let's say.
You're a company, a family company. Most people here probably, most people are in the design industry. Anybody in the design industry recognize Molteni for over 80 years as a leadership
Brand.
in many aspects. And you have envisioned, or the company and the family has envisioned the company now in a global sense, in a global perspective. You have dealers and distributors and flagship stores, probably in most of the continents of the world. How would you say the Italian culture and heritage and traditions are reflected into your designs, and how that impacts or translates also into our own Latin culture per se?
Let's say, as you mentioned, we've been we're a family business. First of all, we're still strongly a family business. We are three uncles who are actively involved in a company. We are five cousins which are actively working into different positions and different roles. So we really feel very engaged to what we do daily here as promoting and try to push Molteni and Dada, as you mentioned, as global companies that now kind of take on what is the global design scene and environment. What drives it behind everything is our, let's say, exclusive passion for detailing and for making good things and for making beautiful things. We all grew up into the company quite naturally, being exposed to designers and to graphic designers, interior designers, architects, since we were all very young, very little. And so it's part of, I think, of a real essence of DNA, almost of quality and attention to small details that make the difference in the end. Sometimes are maybe very small details that make what the quality perceived is. And in these, I guess, we share, as you mentioned, with a lot of Latin countries, a passion for beauty, a passion for what is good living, of enjoying life and enjoying good things. So this, I guess, is a shared passion that we can transmit through our products and through the service that we provide with our products globally, not just to Latin countries, but hopefully globally. Nowadays, also, it's quite engaging for us. As you mentioned, we are distributed globally, and we have clients from all over the world. So more than anything, we are always more excited to confront different countries and to learn from what the local experiences and what the local perspectives are through dealership like you, and through the collaborations that we can build over time. We get a lot of inspiration and also a lot of probably vision of where we want the brand to go.
I wanted to give a little feedback. I think what puts us together here today, the Molteni family, the Manrique family, and the Schaller, we're all family industries. We've been in, Nicolás and I, second generation. You have a little bit more
background.
We've been in business for 40 years now.
Both of us, both companies, yeah.
And what we really think that connected well, that's the reason why we worked on this project. We took our time to study, all the brands, go to the Salone for many years. We looked up to the founding fathers, like you guys, and not only looked at the design, but your vision and how you add value and your solutions to projects worldwide and make it commercially feasible. This is the main reason we decided to open the first flagship in Bogota, the flagship boutique that we opened about 2 years ago, which we are right now. And we feel very confident that we take a big role in educating, because in Latin America and some of the countries which are not European, we're not as influenced in design. You're born into design. If you're born in Italy, you walk through museums, the streets, there's 2,000 years of history. But people understand design and are starting to value design more of a lifestyle and not as a luxury good. most people are scared, spending all this money because they just look at the price. With your experience curated, by all your designers, and now with Vincent Van Dusen, you've done an amazing job that people can understand the overall experience, not just the product itself. I just wanted to give a little bit of feedback there, and that we're it was a scary moment, a couple of years ago.
When you began?
To take the step.
When everything started,
to open flagships, because you can have distributions, but to truly understand the experience, there's a lot of work.
It's more of a, for sure.
All the details about the ambience, how the architecture is set up, the functionality of the kitchen, the closets.
It all needs to tie in together in one coherent and cohesive project in the end. And your space.
Some people come for an excuse. It could be for a table, but we always go off topic and show the overall experience, because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to engage with our consumers. This was a long conversation with Nicolás. And he could tell us a little bit about the experience, why he chose to work, with Schaller as the local partner, and with Dada in the kitchens for this project. It's a big deal. It's the first project in the continent with Dada kitchens in a very conservative, let's say, culture, which is Bogota. Nicolás has vast experience. His company, 40 years developing residential, but he took a big step. I think he leads by far many aspects of the residential design and luxury apartments in Bogota. And I don't know if Nicolás wants to say a little bit about.
Well, thank you for that introduction, a little bit more into the company and into the process of the Dada Kitchen evaluation, and finally being able to choose this product. For us, it was a big step. It was a real important challenge, and we're really stoked to be able to become the first project or residential project in Latin America to put Dada kitchens as their main supplier of all of the kitchens, even the ones that are not of the private units, even the common areas kitchen
ones,
will be Dada kitchen. So why did we get to this decision finally? Like Kevin was saying, we've been going over to Salones del Mobile for over 20 years now. Big regret that we weren't able to accompany you guys this year. Perhaps
we were very sad not to do it as well. We were very excited, very much looking forward to it. Unfortunately,
and for us, you guys have always been a standard of high-end, not just like Kevin said, luxury, but more the type of kitchen that engages people, involves people in the space that we believe is probably the nucleus of the apartment or the residence. So for us, it's a huge deal. We're extremely proud, and we would also like to thank you and thank Kevin. Well, you guys, and thank Kevin for the opportunity.
We thank you for trusting us to some.
There was an incoming call.
Okay.
And so
all projects are engaging. We're very happy to start with you, and we really hope this is the first step into a successful relation. It was very exciting to work on your project. It's 55 units, 25 typologies. So even if we consider this a relatively tight development or small development, it was very engaging to develop all the 25 different typologies and to trim to your needs our products. It was very a good experience. So it was,
exactly. Like Kevin was saying, we're in the high end of the business chain. So customization, personalization is a big deal for our customers here. So
it's a key factor.
It's a key factor. What would you say are the main characteristics of a Dada product, or perhaps even the 5 most important Why are they so
only
unique?
5.
Yeah, just 5.
I need to pick only 5. That's
6,
very
no.
difficult.
Okay. Yeah.
I could
Whichever
list
you
a lot of unique points for data. No, just joking.
Yeah, I know.
Let's say that for sure we have made a lot of I wouldn't say maybe exclusive, but we have driving points that we keep as cornerstones when we think at product and how we deliver products globally. For sure, probably the main aspect we care about and we really are proud of having as a core element in our kitchen is the quality of the product themselves. We are obsessed by even the smallest details, which most of the times go unnoticed by a final user who will never check under the cabinet what hardware we're using, what are the smaller technical details that we use. But we know that in these details is where the actual quality of our product resides in the end, especially for kitchen who are long-standing products. A kitchen you usually put inside your house and you maybe change it once, maybe if you're lucky, or if you are daring enough to change a kitchen. But it's a long-standing product. It needs to perform over time. So quality is for sure one of the key elements that we have in our DNA as an element. Then I could probably think at, as I mentioned, the smaller details who make our product long-standing over time. Kitchen needs to perform. It's a small machine. It needs to be functional and it needs to be operating over a long term. So we have a lot of attention to these factors. And it also needs to be, if you pass the concept or the word, it needs to be stylistically also long-standing. Whether you maybe change a sofa over time, if the trends change, if the design scheme and taste moves around a lot faster, kitchens are usually more stable elements into an environment like a house. So we try to take a very, very concrete and attentive approach when we're actually doing the stylistic design of kitchens, because we want them to be long-standing items also aesthetically, not just physically in terms of mechanical performances or anything. So so it's these aspects. Then of course it's functionality. We always are very aware that data kitchens are machines. They need to be used. They need to be lived by a family. They need to be enjoyed. They don't need to be just very beautiful items that are on a showroom level. They are engaging environment. The kitchen is a lively environment, which is, as you probably mentioned earlier, always more becoming the key and the essence of the architectural space in a house. And we want our customers to feel confident and happy and to really get their kitchens dirty, get their kitchens, worked and lived all throughout.
Used,
probably.
Yeah. Okay, great. So across all your data ranges, what would you say, or how are you able, maybe better, to maintain the balance between contemporary design, the latest technologies, and the creation of a space that generates warmth and is centered around the needs of the user? How would you guys be able to really keep that equilibrium at point?
I'd say if I had one real key formula to it, I probably wouldn't shout it out on Instagram. But I would say that probably how we managed to do it. First of all, I hope we managed to do it somehow.
Yeah, definitely.
The key feature, I think, in our kind of business is for sure, on one end, being a family business and being very close to whatever we do in terms of, on one end, as I mentioned, product development. We know it's not just products, so it's the whole experience of buying a kitchen or buying furniture for your house, which needs to be excellent and excellently driven stages. So it's the product, it's the service, it's how you engage with our brands that makes it.
So you guys
special.
focus a lot in research, or how do you?
We focus a lot for sure on research, and maybe we touched a little bit on it. These were strongly and incredibly helped by all the incredible designers and architects that we collaborate with. Sometimes we get challenging inspirations from their side with ideas that maybe come from completely different topics or different backgrounds. In this, it also quite helps a lot being an industrial group, which is built around three main different companies: Molteni for the home furnishing, Dada on the kitchen side, and Unifor as well as office furniture company. We try to get curation and contamination of ideas between all different elements of what we do in all these different fields. Nowadays, it's quite on everybody's kind of agenda. The home working concepts. We have an office furniture who's been working in work environments for almost more than probably 40 years, 50 years, and we draw from this experience and we can apply to a conceptual home office for Molteni, or they take this in consideration if we need to do something in this direction for kitchens, as well as kitchens are becoming more and more real elements of a living environment rather than just a place where you cook. They're becoming more and more the center and the hub of a house. So we take a lot of
the family interactions,
research and family interactions between these aspects. Also, we draw a lot from you guys, from developers, from the challenges of the residential, especially world, where of course every project tries as much as it can to be unique, to be special. Yeah. And this for us, it's a great. It's almost like a gym exercise. We are challenged by new ideas and new maybe creative processes that go behind the developments and then the creative process of projects, and we draw from this experience to try to get inspiration for new products and new lifestyle ideas. So it's a bit of these elements that kind of drive all the innovation that we try to do.
Amazing, thank
you. Now that you mentioned lifestyle, it just rings a bell, and it's part of our, I would say, our DNA also at Schaller. I don't know if everybody wants to say they're a lifestyle company, but we really work, with many variables, because we work with technology, with home automation, lighting, almost like a lab of some sort that we try to really, experiment with all the variables to give our clients, more value or
experience,
a lifestyle that they can entertain their guests or be more efficient at work. And part of our goal, because it's a weird question, nobody's asking, but I keep on asking, how do we keep the DNA at Schaller, alive? And we are dealers for different companies and important companies with big and important DNA and strong DNA like Molteni. And it's part of our goal to impact and giving the feedback, like you were saying, to the suppliers, to the designers about our projects. When we experiment projects with Octava or with particular clients and having all the variables together, it gives us the opportunity to really have the communication, with the factory, which we do, and we're working on it, even though all the companies and you guys are big, but it's part of our goal to really have an impact so the project gets developed, or the product itself, to each specific culture, or even actually now a globalized culture. But we really do feel that, communication going well, and that's why we understand the family culture itself. I have a question. You kind of already walked through it. We're going through specific times nowadays, and we really want to understand, how Molteni sees it, that our relationship with our homes, how they change. You know, now we live, we work, we play. I think everybody's been home more than ever. You know,
Yeah, absolutely.
in our history.
Unfortunately, yes. Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Or
right.
fortunately, it could be an
Yeah.
opportunity for.
I'm
Could be an
happy.
opportunity.
I'm
Yeah,
happy in my
it's true.
house.
Yeah, yeah.
But yes, in a sense, unfortunate for many things. You're right.
It makes you at least appreciate better the spaces, you know, if they're
Yeah.
well designed, well made, functional, pleasant.
Now you have to, because in a sense, you're home more than you have to. Even if you don't want to, you have to be home. And most people, some people that work so hard, bought their homes, bought luxury goods or not, but they didn't take the time to design or interact with it. How do you think the future is going to look like? How's Molteni, you know, what are you guys looking at into the future, you know,
With these circumstances.
Yeah,
with people having all these, you know, time at home?
well, let's say to some extent, I think time to what you were saying. It's been a period where everybody, as you mentioned, has been forced to live their own home environment, and I think it was a good time for people to go the two ends, to really enjoy what they love about their home and to really understand what they really hate about their home. Where are the limitations and where are the improvement that they could do in their own houses. So I guess it was a good time for a lot of people to reflect on what the home environment is and what it represents for their families, for their own, and where we hope this will bring is to really have a customer who's more and more engaged with the quality of the product they're buying, because in the end, it is the quality of the products that you surround you with, and that kind of build up to the quality of your life. We think at furniture, or a lot of people might think at furniture very simply as just objects that sit in your room, but it's actually items that you keep on interacting. If you don't realize this, we're all sitting in a chair. We all are working on a desk. We're all sitting on a sofa in the evening. So the quality of the products, we hope that this period will bring a more probably strong awareness on what is the quality of the items you're surrounding you with. On the other end, of course, there's the functionality aspects as well. We worked quite a lot for this year, for the presentation for Eurocucina and for Salone del Mobile. Unfortunately, we didn't have the opportunity to show all the efforts and all the
What did we miss? What did
results.
we miss?
But we worked quite a lot on specific aspects, especially on functionality, and also on the role, especially for kitchens, that kitchens are playing, and we hope, or at least we expect, to play into the whole design and environment of the house. We probably touched base a little bit earlier on it. The kitchens are becoming more and more prominently really the center hub of your life inside the house. We work in kitchens, we dine in kitchens, we entertain in kitchens, we have fun with our friends. When you have a party, God knows why everybody ends up in the kitchen somehow.
Yeah.
So more and more they become stranger elements. They're not just thought and developed just for cooking. They need to address very different and specific, more engaging situations and functionalities. Yeah. This year, even if we didn't have the chance to present officially to the world some of our products, we presented. We decided as a company to really push on the accelerator of and present no matter what. We have a beautiful space here that hopefully you will experience once the lockdowns are lifted here in Giussano in Italy, with a new space designed by Vincent van Duysen, where we actually decided to present all the new products that we had for Salone. So we took no slow down on anything. We said we believe in our products, the quality of the things and the works we've done. So we pushed hard and we presented a full range of collection for sure for Molteni and for that as well. You're showing here some of the examples of these products. This was a project that we developed this year together with Francesco Meda, young designers that we've been working with for some years now. and we challenged him with a little bit of trying to find a technical solution that could work all around our product line for a new functionality to be added to the worktop itself. He came up with his idea of building this XY system of accessories that can be more or less added on to all the kitchen models that we have in our catalog. So it's a really kind of transversal element that can be used by designers to add specific functionalities. So an accessorized channel where you can add in extractor hoods or little taps or all the small accessories you need to work and to cook, let's say. It has a shelving system, a modular shelving system that can be very freely and creatively be configured in different ways. And as you see maybe from the slide between the before and this one, a series of accessories that slide over the top horizontally, so you can really reconfigure your kitchen island quite freely. Then together with Vincent Van Duysen, who is our art director and main inspirator for sure for what we believe is the Molteni Dada lifestyle, more or less concept. We worked with some new product lines, a new product line that you will see hopefully in the very short future, and with Ratio Kitchen, who was presented last year as well. We implemented the full collection with a newer range of door opening systems that can really become more and more kind of tools for designers to define architecture and space with products. Now we believe that more than any time, the product itself as furniture, as kitchens, as wardrobes, as libraries, these items will become tools for interior designer to design space, not just to be considered items that you put into a finished space in the end, but they will become more and more tools to really make exclusive and tailor-made designs to the specific needs of spaces. So this was a bit the direction that we took over this year.
Like Kevin was saying, Dada Molteni is a worldwide renowned brand. But just for curiosity, for those of us who don't really know the history of the brand itself, could you please depth in a little bit about the history of Dada? Why is it called Dada Molteni? Is it two houses? Molteni Dada, sorry.
Dada Molteni, yeah. Well, it's two different companies.
Families,
they were
companies,
originally
okay.
Two different companies.
Yeah.
Molteni was founded by my grandfather in 1934. So Italy was just getting out of wartime. So it was a reconstruction period where if you had the will and the guts to do it, there was for sure some opportunities to build, and it was started as a very small furniture workshop, and quickly, thanks to my granddad's vision and intuition, probably, he was very fast in trying to make Molteni more and more an industrial reality rather than a small workshop. So invested quite early in machinery and automation of different processes. And from that on, I will not go long because we are an 80 years old company. I don't want to make a history lesson, but it evolved in what is today a global brand that is active globally and is been at the center of design for a lot of years. My grandfather in 1961 was one of the founders of Salone del Mobile, so we were really, even in the 60s, at the real head of what industrial design for furniture was globally. The company grew thanks to collaborations over the years with famous designers like Luca Meda, Aldo Rossi through the 80s. And at that stage, Molteni was already a big industrial group. From that on, we grew as a company through acquisitions, and we picked, or at last they picked, my grandfather picked Dada is a specific furniture, kitchen furniture company. Dada was founded even before Molteni in 1926, if I don't go wrong,
Wow.
by Garavaglia family, who were so already active as a kitchen manufacturer. And I think they shared at that stage between the two families kind of a vision for engaging and challenging design. Even at that stage, Dada, the early Dada, was approaching kitchen furniture design with very innovative ideas and very modern and what we could call contemporary designs, industrial approach to it. I think this was part of the common denominator that kind of drew my grandfather to the acquisition of Dada that was done in the early 80s. And from that, we grew throughout collaborations and everything. More and more today, we're trying to make the two different companies more linked together. As we mentioned earlier today, kitchens and living rooms and houses are more and more tied together. We can find a lot of synergies between two different divisions of our activities in terms of inspirations. I will not go through what we can do also as optimization and in manufacturing and in all these boring things, but it really is something that we can bring in and tie together with very interesting possibilities, let's say. So
Okay, great.
I think we're running a little bit out of time here. We've been having so much fun.
Yeah.
One
No,
more question?
I just wanted to ask one last thing. I think it's important, and it carries on with what you were speaking of. You talk about innovation and also with the history of the company or the two companies merging and of the family. There's also a quite important factor of tradition. How do you guys reconcile these two aspects, especially in a global market? Because if we talk about tradition, perhaps Italy has its own tradition, Colombia has its own traditions. In Australia, especially in cuisine, Australia, they may cook all types of meals very differently, or in the US. How do you guys reconcile all of these, let's say, contrasting aspects?
let's say that it's a bit a key item that we take beforehand once we are starting designing and when we're starting to develop new products. More and more we are aware that we need to think of systems. Luckily, the kitchen is a system. It's not really a single item. It's not a finished table which needs to be adapted. It's a system that can be configured, and in the way how you think of the configurations and the possible adaptations of this configuration that make then in the end a flexible and reliable system that can be adapted, as you mentioned, to very different design or kitchen traditions or anything. So nowadays we have also through projects like Octava some very good view and overview of what the different market needs or where the difference needs to be accentuated. And it's especially through collaboration like developers like you that we get the challenges that in the end we take into considerations when we do would develop a new system that can be then adapted to whatever the needs of designers or interior designers or architects are. So
Great.
that's a bit it.
Thanks. Thank you.
I have the last question here. So we kind of talked about it a little bit, but if you want to take an overview again, how would you define luxury, and how do you see the future of that?
It's a good question. The definition of luxury, it's really hard to narrow down to, let's say, a single definition. Let's say, I think in the end, what we think, or we as a brand believe is luxury, is a kind of understated and quiet essence to lifestyle in general. We're not a shouting company. We don't really are that kind of company that throws the most lavish finishes or the most exclusive marbles from what God knows remote endangered island or anything. We think that in the end the real key point of luxury lifestyle is to really strike a balance of I don't know, simplicity, but with details and with quality behind it to some extent. So I don't know if it narrows down to a definition, but it's a bit what we try to do. An understated and very kind of essential thought about of how we live, our houses and everything. So, okay, that's a bit it, I guess.
That's a perfect answer. I guess we're open to questions.
I don't know if people want to ask.
I can't read them from here, but I'll try to.
Me neither.
If anybody has a question,
what does it say? Sorry. ¿Qué piensa del concepto de cocina como vivirla? Como vitrina. There's a question that I don't know how to translate it, but vitrine is like a facade, like a display, like a facade.
Yeah.
Someone, Andrea, actually, Andrea, a girl from Revista Axis, I suppose, spectators, asks, what do you think about the concept of kitchen as a display, as a, like this, like, for example, it's more visible, like a facade, which is
I think it was a strange kind of, it's surely something that is coming up. It came up in the past 2 or 3 years as a quite a substantial trend in kitchen design. For a lot of years, the kitchen was about hiding functionality and hiding everything behind, you know, a beautiful facade, and kind of had to make all the technical aspects or even the containment side of kitchens to kind of disappear behind a beautiful finish. More and more in designs, we found that transparent glass and vitrines became something that the market was really requesting and was really embracing in terms of elements that can add also kind of a different spatial kind of dimension to the kitchen itself. It's kind of an open window where you can have something beautiful on display. Of course, kitchens live with objects inside of them. And as we love beautiful furniture, we all love also beautiful object itself. So whether it's pottery, whether it's plates, whether it's you know,
piece of art,
piece of art, and as we mentioned, more and more kitchens are becoming part of the living area as well. So more and more these items are becoming kind of the propagation of the kitchen inside the living environment. So it's the mixed use of elements which is bringing this kind of new kind of vitrine elements into kitchens today.
It's the same word, yeah. Okay, great.
Well, thank you, Andrea, for all your time.
No, thank you guys for the opportunity.
It was a real pleasure.
You'll be welcome in Colombia soon.
I hope very soon bans will be lifted and
get a glimpse of the Octava project, our flagship here. You're, welcome.
Absolutely.
We're dying to go to Italy.
And we are also very eager to have all of you guys and whoever is following us, hopefully visit us soon here in Giussano, hopefully. And for sure, next year we'll have the great opportunity of, again, we hope that times change for Salone next year. It will be a great, let's say, and happy time for design next year, for sure.
Anybody who wants to have coffee, we're open. We've been open for a while now with all the safety protocols. We have appointments, and then, more than invited to come over anytime.
Yeah, we would be super eager to get to Italy and see Vincent van Duysen's approach and all of the new creations you guys have.
We have been
keep on sharing
sitting
them.
Still. Yeah, we were very active even during lockdown.
Even more so.
We'll be very happy to.
Us as well, yeah. Okay.
Good. Thank you, Andrea.
Andrea, grazie mille.
Grazie a voi.
Say hello to everyone
Bye.
over there. It was a real pleasure. Thank you.
Bye.
Ciao, bye, gracias.